Yo guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is basically, it's gonna be named the best 11 of our lifetimes. So like obviously I was born in 2002 and you were born in 2003. So we've not been privileged with the best players, so if there's any older people who saw Gaza and that, fuck you, because you get to watch Gaza and that. We weren't as privileged. Some of the players that I have picked, folk will go, oh but you were only 1 and 2 where they played, but the way people spoke about them and also like what I saw when I was young, and also like for example like highlights of them, you know, like if you watch games from back in the day you would see that they're probably the best, but just preferences. The players I liked, basically it's the players, our favourite players of our time. So the people we think's the best and our favourite players of our like time watching Rangers. So there's obviously going to be different people say different players for each position, but this is just our opinion. So, you know, obviously if somebody puts in a comment, oh this player was better than this player, I'm not going to go against you because that's your opinion. And as I said, this is Scotland, everyone's welcome to a freedom of speech. So if you think someone's better than what we said, that's your opinion, that's just how it goes. Like, everybody's going to have different opinions, you know. Even nowadays, like somebody says Kamara's good, some folk will say he's bad now. Some folk will say, oh, it's just it's not working for him, but he's still good, which he is, but he's no good to now, right? But I've got mine written down because I am the professional out of us too. I told Alan last night about this video. Like, he was working, but he could have wrote them down when he was home, but decided not to. Could have done it in the small one. I gave him enough time before we went and filmed the video. But like Ange Postecoglou, this man likes his food, so that's how he thinks about it. But before actually, we'll save this one over. I just came up with an idea, but we'll save it. Well, actually, I'll say it now. VAR. Talk about how, if VAR has improved the Scottish game, that's what we'll see in the next video. But we'll do a video on VAR and how has it improved the referees, has it improved decisions being made right. There you go. But right, so we're going to start with goalkeeper. Now, we have not been blessed. Well, we have been blessed with probably one of the best goalkeepers Rangers have ever had. He's definitely up there. Obviously, Andy Gorham was the best. But obviously he wasn't in our time, but he was, people will say he's the best, I'm pretty sure of that. But I've went with Alan McGregor. I think if you look at over the time, the amount of games he's played for us, the amount of titles and that he's won, but you can't, this is what I've always said, you can't go off titles and trophies and that on what makes a good player, because purely down to the fact of you could be shite and win a trophy. Like, you can make 4 appearances, you've still got a medal. Well, I don't know how many you need to make in Scotland to actually get a medal, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But Alan McGregor, if you look at some of the saves he made back in the day when we were a lot younger, and then if you look at some of the saves he made in Europe previous years and in games where we've needed them, penalty saves against Celtic at Parkhead. You know, he has been the man. Now obviously it's kind of a bit of a touchy subject because he's 40-year-old and, you know, the man's getting old and...
So, well, I mean, there's not really much to choose for goalkeeper anyway, is it?
You've got him.
You've got him, Neil Alexander, fucking...
Neil Alexander was good.
Stefan Klos.
No, he wasn't. Was he in our time? When was he
He was like mid-2000.
Nah.
But that didn't...
I'd still say McGregor's.
McGregor's probably the
Neil
obvious
Alexander,
one to go for anyway, so...
Neil Alexander and Klos were both good, but I just feel like with McGregor, with this, if you just look back at some of the saves and some of the moments where he's made a big save, it's been title deciding moments. You know, he kept us in that title when we beat Celtic away from home when he saved the penalty.
Not just that, like, he made some very good saves in the lead up to the Europa League final, like 2 seasons ago. he's just all round very good goalkeeper.
You know, and then you've got the likes of, you know, the other goalkeepers you can think about is, well, they're not in the question before anybody says. There's obviously Cammy Bell, he was another goalkeeper, but we've still not forgiven him for punching the ball into his own net. You've also got McLaughlin and McCrory, but obviously none of them
Aye.
get close.
McCrory's not really good game time
Aye.
yet, so.
And he's still young. He could, maybe 10 years time, we might come back to this and do it again. And, you know, McCrory could be a certain goalkeeper.
Yeah,
Would it
I don't know.
overtake McGregor? It'd be very hard, but I'm
Yeah.
saying he could do it, right?
Now on to right back.
Left back. I went left back and then.
Right.
So left back, it was between two for me. It was between Lee Wallace and Sasa Papac. Obviously Lee Wallace, you know, loyalty, stuck by us when we needed him the most. But I think if I was choosing someone, Cisse Papac, Sasa Papac, however you want to say it, Papac, I would say was the best left back I've seen at Rangers in my time of watching them. Still grateful for Lee Wallace for what he'd done. I just feel like Papac was the better left back, but Lee Wallace was a good captain, stuck by us. You couldn't ask for him. He ruined his career. Let's be entirely honest. He ruined his football career by staying with us, because he could easily have done what all the rest did and went to an English team or went somewhere else.
Lee Wallace didn't like leave.
No, but what I'm saying is he could have had a better career than what he had, because he could have went down south, potentially be playing in the Premier League. If he goes to the Championship, maybe you can get for a low side in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Build his career for there, you know. But
he stuck by us for
Aye.
bad times.
but I think you can't really do. You obviously are grateful for it, but you can't put that on his talent, because that's his loyalty and that's fair respect. But we're talking about the best players we've seen in our time and our favourites. Lee Wallace would probably go down as one of the favourites, but I went with Papac because when you watch Papac, he made everything look so easy. He made it look like it was just a breeze and it was a walk. He didn't look like he struggled one bit when he was playing. So, aye.
For me, I'm going with Lee Wallace.
No.
But it's the same like between them two.
Lee Wallace was good, but I just feel like Papac beats him just in the set. Well, maybe not just, but I think just the way Papac played, he was just.
Between
Yeah,
them
he
two
came-
and Lee McCulloch, but you said he's more a centre half.
I'm sure. Well, I'm sure he played. I think he played more centre half. I'm not actually quite sure. It was just quite a big goal. But when I looked, because I was looking up, just to make, because obviously I was looking up just to make sure I don't miss anybody, because there could be one where no many folk talk about, but then as it's our favourite or our best squad, we might see something and go, oh, I remember him, remember he done this, remember he was like this, he played like this. So I was looking up just to make sure I didn't miss anybody out, and so I could get the right idea of who I could pick.
And just before we continue, like, what formation you go for?
I'm going a 4-3-3.
I'm going 4-4-2.
That's fair.
That's the formation I'm going with.
Alright.
I've got two up top.
So now the two centre halves,
Two centre halves.
you can go first.
Lee McCulloch, one of them. And you gotta call me a fucking idiot for this. But you get Lee McCulloch, and I really like this guy when he was with us. It's mostly just the hair, man. He had some
Who?
great hair.
Who?
Bill Elmoshney.
You can't pick that.
Yeah,
You can't say that. Comments, please win some. You can't say Billy O'Moshney. He wasn't even good.
No, right, he had. No, it's not from that.
Like good because.
So you get Lee McCulloch and Davy Weir. That's my two centre halves.
No.
But I like Bill Elmoshney, like, but it just doesn't get into the best Rangers 11.
What do you like him for? Didn't do nothing.
So
Best thing he done for us was punch a Motherwell player.
yeah, that's
Right.
two centre halves, Lee McCulloch and David Weir.
Two centre halves I went with Magic Bagheera.
It was a tough one
The first time
for me.
when you mention his name, you can just remember when he used to just get the ball for centre half and just go, you know what, nobody's creating nothing, I'll run up the field myself, skin about half the team and slot it in the net. I can't actually remember who done that against, but I do remember it. I think he was one of them centre half, no nonsense centre half as you would call it. Ball comes to his feet, it's gone, or he's running with. He's either punting it to hell, no making any mistakes, or he's just taking it away. I'm thinking, do you know that? Who's Messi? Probably didn't even know who Messi was back then.
And Messi's doing the best player in the world, so
Oh, he is.
he's not.
What's that league Ronaldo plays in? Oh, that's right. The league that's ranked below Scotland. That's right. Scottish football is above him.
Ronaldo's the best player in the world.
No, you know. Right,
Yeah.
so what World Cup he's won?
It's not about ball, mate. Look at the stats.
How many folk watched the World Cup final? 3 billion.
Mate, no one's talking about the World Cup anymore. Everybody talk about Ronaldo moving to fucking Al
Yes.
Nassr.
Because he's made a
That
bad
mate,
decision.
Messi doesn't even get talked about anymore.
Because he plays in a big league.
Mate, Messi doesn't even get talked about winning the cup.
He's going to win the
He
Champions
doesn't-
League.
He doesn't even get talked about.
What's Ronaldo won? The
Mate.
fucking Saudi Champions League.
Mate, Ronaldo's won fucking 5 Champions Leagues.
That.
He's done everything.
How many Ballon d'Ors has he got?
Messi can't do half of what Ronaldo can do.
How many Ballon d'Ors has he got?
Messi can't do half of what Ronaldo can do.
Ballon d'Ors?
Ronaldo can do
What, Ballon d'Or?
everything that Messi can do.
Oh, I forgot Messi can't
Everything.
jump. Messi can't jump. Messi cannot jump because he's short. Like,
No, but it's,
he's shite. Ronaldo's shite.
that's debates for another video.
He's washed.
Another video, that's
He's
debate.
washed. Ronaldo washed. Career over.
Right back. Did you say the other centre half?
No. David Weir.
Yeah.
I think he was so slow, but you know he knew what he was doing. He was one of the slowest defenders I think I've ever watched, but his positional sense was just there. Because he was slow, he knew that I need to have my positional sense on top, so that the players don't get by, and that's just what he done. He was great.
Yeah.
Done what needed to be done. But right back. Now you've obviously got Tav from modern time.
Aye.
You've got Rickson. You've got. Can you think of anyone else? You know, I'd say they're probably the two that are in debate about. I'd go with Rickson.
I think that's the obvious choice is Jackson because
But if you think of what Tav's done in that, it's like.
like, don't get me wrong, like Tav been playing unreal for Rangers, like,
Still not Rangers crap.
but
And I'm,
the way
I'm
people
happy
talk,
concerned about
the
that.
way people talk about Fernando Rickson, they still even talk to him to this day.
Well, not
like,
to him, because he's
I
said
know, talk about him.
He's
Like
said,
the way people talk about him.
see, no, but the worst thing
Mhm.
is, he probably wouldn't have retired as early as he did. He obviously didn't get the illness.
Yeah.
But that's just how it is. You know, sadly that's what life's like. But he died when he was 43. You know, you think about that, he had to retire like early in his career. If he had many years into his career, potentially would have stayed with us.
I've got a Rickson flag up in my wall as well.
So I think people might say Tav because of what he's done, but it ruins it because he's no Rangers captain, Tav. And I'm happy to debate with anybody on this. We're in 13 minutes already. Tav's not Rangers captain, right?
Hey,
Right.
let's go to midfield.
The 3 midfielders, I've went with Barry Ferguson, Stephen Davis, and Pedro Mendes. Barry Ferguson speaks for himself, best Rangers captain at. Obviously, he's probably the best one I've seen because him and Lee were the best two, but Barry was just amazing. Man hated Celtic, loved the Old Firm games. Captain shouted, let the players know something James Taverner doesn't know what to do. But he's amazing. He's amazing. He battles for everyone. Davis also speaks for himself. Davis is just a Rolls Royce midfielder.
Rangers are different.
And then Pedro Mendes, another class player, and I'll never forget that goal away to Celtic. Cross, just smacks it and it just glides into the net. I think it's one of the best goals I've ever seen. He just passes it, just gives it past the corner and just thinks, John,
Mhm.
boom, see you later. Smacks it in. It was amazing. So I've got him. What about you?
The two centre midfields. It'll be Barry Ferguson and Davis. I don't think there's anything to be about that.
No, I think they're probably the best two we've had.
But then when he gets out wide is where
Oh, you've got two.
it's a bit tricky.
Right. Well, you can leave it in the now because your left mid and right mid can go with my winners. Well, the winner. So
Yeah.
Davis and Barry, I
Davis
think
and
that
Barry.
speaks for itself. Right. So left wing. It's more of a modern player, Frank Kent. Because we have not been blessed
No,
with left
not
wings.
at all.
Or right wings. Well, we have kind of. Well, we've not been blessed with either, but I think Ryan Kent, if he can get himself going again, he will be probably the best left wing in our generation. You know, you think when he came here on loan to us, he was absolutely phenomenal. Nobody could stop him.
Then he fell off a bit, but he
Aye,
just started to find
he
his
fell
form
off a
again.
bit, but I think it was Gio that actually it made him fall down because alright, he wasn't good under. He was good under Gerrard, but he still wasn't in the heights of the loan.
Yeah.
Obviously, that was under Gerrard as well. But I mean, when he came here, apparently he didn't prove to what he did in loan, but he still was good.
Yeah.
This season, I think under Beale, he's firing. You saw the goal against Celtic.
Oh man, I just
Beale's
love the
gonna
finish.
say to him, just hit me a shows, don't be scared.
He needs to take on defenders more.
See, full moment when he gets tackled. You know, but I always say you're going to get tackled at some. You're going to get tackled one time.
We need an angry Ryan Kent back. Because that's when he
We
goes
need an
at
angry
people.
Morelos back.
That's when he goes at
We
people.
need an angry Morelos back. Morelos
Mm.
killed people, and it was great fun. Right, now I've got it right wing. I'll leave striker. Well, you need to go with your left midfielder. How many? Oh, 17 minutes.
People ask for longer videos.
Right,
Go
come
on.
on.
I'm gonna play Kent at that left mid.
Ah,
Like,
okay,
'cause then he can
I'll-
still get up and down
Ah.
the field anyway, so.
no good. I don't think he's big good at coming back
But
and forward.
it's just,
Right, now we'll go
there's no
right
really much
winger.
to choose for anyway. so.
Oh, my right winger, you're right midfielder. I've went, mate. There's only one natural oval.
Is he not a striker?
Huh?
Is he not a striker?
No, played winger. Most of the time. Well, it said on the transfer thing that he was a right winger. He could play. It said he was a right winger,
Mm.
but his other positions were second striker, centre forward. So he could play striker. But I'm putting him in the right wing because that was his actual
Yeah.
position. Because I couldn't not put this player in that's a striker.
I mean, who have we got that plays right mid? Like from the fucking past.
Well, you can think Candace was a right winger, but you probably could put him in there.
And there'll be better ones than Candace,
You
surely.
could put him over there.
Nah, he's got a striker for me. He's one of my strikers. Surely he's got a better one than Candace. I honestly
Well, Candace
can't.
was a right winger.
I can't think at the moment, so
Candace was good.
it'd probably just have to be Candace, yeah.
He was good.
Like that run that Candace done when Morelos just fucking played it to him.
Or when he literally
Like
battered the whole Celtic team. Well, was it Scott Brown, him and Arfield just bullied them.
it's fucking.
But I forgot
But-
Scott Brown's a hard man.
It's good to be Candace, I'm sure.
Right,
My two strikers.
You can say
I'll go
yours
first,
first.
sure.
Alright, got it.
Well, I've already said one was Ignacio Novo,
Mhm.
and the other one would be Nikita Jelavic. Them two is my strike partnership. They've played together before up top. I think they've done really well.
How have
Um,
you left the one man who literally made our life the best?
Aye, but Morelos isn't he the?
No, he's better than Jelavic.
He's not the shit then. No.
That's not the point in the video. Jelavic is not the shit, he's retired.
No, but Jelavic was better than Morelos is now.
No.
Yeah, yes.
How many finals did Jelavic get to?
Mate,
Fucking
it's not-
zero.
it's not
Well,
debatable.
Europa League. It is debatable.
It's not debatable.
How many goals did Jelavic score in Europe?
So let me guess, you put Morelos in.
Morelos is the best striker we've had since.
Jelavic. Yes.
No, since John Gregg. So tell me, Jelvich was a good player, but he's not scored the same amount of goals as Morelos. He played 45 games, Jelvich, scored 30 goals. Morelos has played over 200 games or something, scored like 112 or something. Can't remember the start. Jelvich are not hitting them numbers. Why? Because he wanted to go back to the Premier League. Jelvich was a good player, but he ain't Morelos.
He's better than Morelos.
So if that's the case, then how's Morelos won the same amount of titles as him? Also made it to the Europa League final. Also won a Scottish Cup. Just saying. But I mean, that's what I said. But that's going into favouritism. You like Jelvich, but you only pick Jelvich because you like Kolak. You like Kolak and you hate Morelos.
I would have just picked Kolak then.
Because he's nowhere near anybody. Even fucking Sadiq was better than Kolak.
No.
I'm only kidding, Sadiq was no better than Kolak. But that's just your preference and favourite player. Like, all of them, you pick Jelvich. My favourite player, and everybody knows my favourite player is Morelos. And how I adore him.
Wait. I'm changing Jelvich out. I'm changing him out.
Who to?
Kyle Laffy.
See that?
Kyle Laffy.
No. You can't take Jelvich. I don't care how good Kyle Laffy was.
I've just had something replay in my head.
Kyle Laffy was only good in the business end of the season.
I've just replayed this game against Kilmarnock where he scored like a hat trick in like 10 minutes. I think it was.
Anybody can do that.
And it's changed my mind. Jelvich out, Lafferty in.
It's Kilmarnock.
Aye, but it is.
See, but I will agree with me here. Laffy was only good at the business end of the season.
Lafferty was better than Jelvich, so I've switched him out.
Comments. Rinse this bastard.
So yeah, that was.
First he says that Jelvich was better than Morelos, when Morelos has done more than what he did because Jelvich decided to go to England, right? Now he's put Kyle Laffy and the man only turned up in the business end of the season. In the split, he was called the Messi of the split because he only played good in the split. Which fair enough, won his titles, but I'd say Jelvich is better than Laffy, but Morelos is better.
That's my two strikers, Novo and Lafferty.
Well, it was always.
See, we're not going to agree in every single
It's
position.
perfect, and same in the comments. Folk will probably say another striker or somebody else. That's better.
100%.
So it's all up for debate, but that's our best / favourite players of our time watching Rangers, and we'll see you next time.
Yep, see you later, guys.